Last week, I worked on an animated series Carnage figure. That figure desperately needed a glow up, and I'm very happy with the result. Check it out if you haven't already. It's been a while since I did MCU content. It's time to go back to my roots. Phase 4 is objectively the worst phase of the MCU, but I have to say, Phase 4 had a lot of cool moments for me to recreate. Like this, and that, and that. Can't forget that. And wow. So cool. Anyway, I realized I didn't do too much with Phase 1. Okay, that's because I don't own that many Phase 1 figures. I did make this Stark Tower diorama display from the first Avengers movie. This was one of my earlier dioramas. I love it. It looks epic. But I also made a big mistake. Literally. I made this almost 1-to-1 scale. That in itself wasn't a bad idea. But because it was so long, it doesn't fit into any of my display cabinets. So I have to display it on its own separate from the rest of my dioramas. Nowadays, I'm more cautious of the size of my dioramas. Gotta make sure they fit into my IKEA Detolf shelves. They just look so much cooler as a whole on my display wall. But back to Phase 1. Like many of you, Ironman 1 was a moment. I remember thinking it was just gonna be another B movie, like Daredevil or something. But as I was watching it, my mind was blown. It was the coolest thing I witnessed then. Not sure if it's the same for you, but the moment that changed my mind was when Tony Stark was testing out his suit. From testing out the repulsor to doing a flight test, to finally putting on the armor. This particular location was iconic. If I had to pick a specific scene from the first Iron Man movie, this is it. I'm gonna call this a mini diorama. Mini because it's meant to be displayed with one figure. Kinda like what I did with my Dragon Ball figures. For those who have seen my content since the very beginning, I love these mini displays. They add so much to the figures. This is kinda the same idea, giving the figure a mini stage to shine on. Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I like making things out of paper, and I like making things cooler. Especially my figures. Sometimes figures don't look all that screen accurate. All they need is a bit of touch-up here and there to unleash their hidden potential. I also love using everyday tools and materials to recreate iconic scenes from my figures, so they can shine on my display. Subscribe to my channel and join my DIY adventure as I ask myself the same question every week. Can I make it? For the base, I'm going to glue a piece of cardboard to give it a bit more stability and make the base a bit more solid. And for the wall, I'm gonna cut and fold to form this freestanding piece. Just gonna add a back piece to hold the shape in place. Alright, now all I need to do is attach the wall to the base. Whee, look at that! Let's bring in Ironman Mark III. Ta-da! I made this book trail piece for my I Am Iron Man diorama with Ironmonger, Thanos, and Endgame Iron Man. That was meant to capture the first and last appearance of Tony Stark as Iron Man. But for this mini diorama, I want to put the focus on the first Iron Man movie. Okay, I need more. One of the more memorable characters in the Iron Man movies is Dum-E. Dum-E was always ready to save Tony's life. After all, it was Dum-E who gave Tony the original arc reactor when all hope seemed lost. Alright, let's build. Starting with the base. It's pretty much just a square box. I decided to break Dum-E up into multiple pieces. That way I can build it bit by bit, and keep the folds as simple as possible. Rounded objects are challenging to fold. The more angular it is, the easier it is to build. That said, these paper models take hours to build, sometimes days. So I speed through the process in my videos to keep the pacing going. Okay, I want to be transparent here. There are several reasons why I haven't released any templates or sold anything. Not that I don't want to, but it's more complicated than just putting it online. The main reason why I haven't released anything yet is because of time. I post a video once a week, and the designing and texturing takes a few days. Then I print the design and hope for the best as I film. The folding and gluing takes another day or two. Thankfully, everything usually works out fine in the end, but there are always little things I have to improvise on the fly. Once everything is filmed, I then have to edit the video and do the voiceover, and by the time the video is ready, I have to move on to the next video. There's just no time for me to go back to modify or revise the models, or make instructions for them. Boo! If I were to release anything, I want it to be doable for anyone at any skill level. So, to summarize, the reason why I haven't released or sold any of my designs yet is because many of them have errors or mistakes in them, and some of them are just too complex without instructions. I've been trying to simplify my designs to make them easier to build, but there are still parts that are just unnecessarily complicated or need revisions. That said, I am putting in more effort in making sure my models are easy to build, because I do want to be able to sell them eventually. I just want to do it right, so it's fair for everyone. This is still something I'm working towards. It may or may not happen in the future. I'm gonna go with the flow and not let it become too stressful. Back to Dum-E here. It is finished. There are a few parts that could have been done better, but as a whole, I think I captured the look of Dum-E very well. Let's add this to the set. And it's perfect, right next to the smoke effect, ready to extinguish it. Okay, this is really cool. I want to add a bit more to the scene. But first, let me add a tool chest. Tony Stark is always building something. This is technically just a box, but this adds context to the set and it also allows me to place props on it, like the arc reactor, which is perfect right here. I made this in my Ironmonger video. It's one of the cooler props I've made. Check that video out if you haven't already. Alright, let's swap in Tony Stark's head. And I can now put the helmet on the tool chest as well. Now this is Tony Stark's workshop. I love this. I love that I can add or remove elements to my liking depending on what I want in the scene. This is the Mark III figure but with the endgame Tony Stark head. This actually makes a great Ironman combo. Classic MCU Tony Stark. I think I did a pretty good job painting the face and the armor. Check those videos out too if you're interested. Okay, I can't do Tony but not Pepper. I finally have a reason to use this Pepper Potts figure. I had this figure for so long, but I never figured out how to display her. Pepper looks great in this set. It may not be exactly screen accurate, but it's better than a random shipyard. Pepper plays such a crucial role in Phase 1 to 3. Her relationship with Tony was what grounded Tony's character. So being able to put these two together makes me so happy. What do you think? Do you like this mini diorama display? Let me know down below. Alright, let's end this for the photo shoot. My original intention was to recreate the flight test scene, since I already had the smoke effect made, and it came out exactly how I pictured it in my head. And the addition of Dum-E is Chef Kiss. Then this set just keeps evolving. I then realized I could add the arc reactor to it as well. And I also get to feature the Tony Stark head. This head was tucked away in a box along with all the other extra heads, and would have never seen the light of day again. I love that this mini diorama is instantly recognizable as Tony's workshop, and it allows me to play with various configurations. I can move the pieces around and place a variety of props in it. The Mark III armor is perfect for this set, and the newly announced Mark II will work just as well. That said, that figure appears to be a repaint of this Mark III. It will look awesome with a mirror-like finish, but I don't have any chrome paint, so I don't think I'll be able to achieve that look. That is why I probably won't be getting the Mark II. Besides, Pepper needs a display, and this mini diorama may just be the perfect one for her. It wouldn't look as cool with her and the Mark II. The red and gold armor looks better on both Tony and Pepper. And this set kinda works for Obadiah too. This figure was also tucked away, but now it kinda has a home. That is, if Tony wants to share it with him. Alright, I had a lot of fun making this. Give this a like if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to see more content like this. And let me know if I should continue this series. What other mini dioramas should I do? And as always, stay inspired and I'll see you next week. I can make it, so can you.